Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for a very late edition of the predictions. Yeah, I kind of had a late night at work and completely forgot to do this earlier. I decided to do something a little bit more fun. But anyways, let's get to this dumb shit here. Payback predictions. May 1st, which is already today, 2016, from Chicago, Illinois' Allstate Arena. Yes, they are in CM Punk's hometown. He's not going to be on the show, don't worry about that. The kickoff show, or the kickoff match, as I already mentioned, I don't remember if it was Raw. It was probably Raw. The Raw video. It's Kalisto versus Ryback once again for the United States title. Kalisto, the defending champion. And I'm predicting he's going to win. That's all there is to that one. Honestly, with everything they've done with Ryback so far, having him win the US title almost feels like it would be a step backwards for him. I don't give a shit about him 9 Ways to Sunday, but this feels like a downgrade for him, so I really don't see any point in them giving him this title. Of course, I don't really see them having any point in having him even go for this title in the first place. But WWE logic for you. Anyways, moving on into the pay-per-view proper. The first thing I have down here, even though this isn't really going to be a prediction because this isn't a match, first thing I have down here for the pay-per-view is Vince making his decision on who is going to run Raw from now on. Because apparently Vince is going to make his decision on whether Shane or Stephanie is going to be running Raw from now on. Like I said, this one isn't really so much of a prediction so much as it is a talking point. There have been rumors that this is going to be the start of a new brand split for the WWE, with one of the siblings taking over Raw, the other one taking over SmackDown. And it's going to bring back the old Raw versus SmackDown days. To be honest, this would probably be a pretty good idea, because right now, the roster is big enough. They need to have two brands, and they need to have people be exclusive to each brand, because if they're not exclusive, there's no point. It's just, oh, who do you like working for more, Shane or Stephanie? Well, duh, Shane. It's no contest. This could very well be the beginning of a new brand split with draft and everything. Honestly, I kind of hope they do, because I've been wanting it to come back for a while. The roster is what it is, and it's just so, I don't know. Not to mention, I really hated when they unified the two big belts, the WWE title and the World Heavyweight title, and they unified them into one. Number one, the belt they made looks like shit. Number two, we really needed that second belt, the World Heavyweight title. We needed that for guys on the card who were maybe not... guys that they just didn't trust to give them that big prize, the WWE title. They say, we'll give them the World Heavyweight title, let them see how they handle that one, and we'll see if maybe they can work their way up to that next level to be WWE champion. that's what it was. The World Heavyweight title was a proving ground, a stepping stone. And they need to bring that back. I'm picking at a nail. Anyways, shouldn't dwell on that for too much. But anyways, that's the first talking point there of the show. And that will happen on the pay-per-view proper. Because if it was going to be on the kickoff, I'm pretty sure they would have mentioned that. Anyways, yanked that damn thing off. Okay, so the first match I have written down here for the actual pay-per-view, I figure they would start the pay-per-view off with a good match to pop the crowd and shit like that. And I have a feeling that Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillains in the finals of the tag team title tournament for the #1 contendership to the tag team titles. I have a feeling that match would be a good one to pop the crowd up, get them hyped up and excited, especially if my prediction happens or comes true, that being that Enzo and Cass win. If they win, crowd's going to pop huge. They're going to be amped up going forward for the pay-per-view. That is my prediction, by the way. Enzo and Cass, those two are over as hell. And Vince has already said to be not too happy with the Vaudevillains backstage. So, I don't see the Vaudevillains going over here. It only makes sense for Enzo and Cass to go over. And then they will go on to face the New Day at the next pay-per-view. And they will probably end up being the ones to dethrone the New Day and take the tag team titles. The New Day may even turn heel in the process. Although I doubt that. Moving on to the next match, Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin. A little bit of a grudge match. There's nothing really at stake. There's nothing on the line. It's really just a personal vendetta between these two. Corbin made his debut on Raw, beating the crap out of Dolph Ziggler. And the two have been going back and forth ever since. So, yeah. I have a feeling Corbin's going over. Because they want to push him, he's the new guy, and he's the guy that they clearly like, and they've been burying Ziggler for so long, so I really don't see Ziggler winning here. As sad as it is, I don't see him winning here. So yeah, Corbin's probably winning this one. That's my prediction. Next up, another personal vendetta type of match. Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. Once again, as much as I hate to say this, I think Jericho's winning this one. But I'm also going to predict that it's going to be some sort of cheap, dusty finish type of deal, where Jericho's going to cheat to get the win. And that's the only reason he will win, is because he cheats. Of course, being the heel, the seasoned ring veteran, the heel, he'll pull the tights, he'll rake the eyes, he may even hit a low blow. Something tells me Jericho's winning this. But like I said, it'll be dusty fashion, so it's not going to be the end of the feud. It's just going to further the feud, and it'll continue on until the next pay-per-view, where Ambrose might actually get a decisive win to win the feud. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that's my prediction there. Up next after that, the next title match, the Intercontinental title match, defending champion The Miz, who will of course be accompanied by his lovely wife Maurice, will go against Cesaro. And seeing as how The Miz just won the fucking Intercontinental title, the Raw the night after WrestleMania, beating that jabroni punk bitch Zack Ryder twice, I really don't see them having The Miz lose the belt this soon. Although, again, it could be a cheating finish where he cheats, pull the tights, rake of the eyes, kick of the balls, whatever the fuck. Maurice does something. God only knows what. But I'm guessing he'll probably somehow cheat to win, and Cesaro will get the short end of the stick. But this could further the feud, and it could continue on until the next pay-per-view. So yeah, I'm predicting Miz is going to win here. Next match, another grudge match. That's 3 this far. This is the big grudge match, though. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. The 14-year friendship broken over the NXT title and all these other things. It really kind of surprises me that the WWE would keep doing this feud when Ring of Honor already did it, and did it so much fucking better. If you want to see this feud done well, go watch it in Ring of Honor. El Generico and Kevin Steen. They should have left it like that. WWE should have kept these two as far apart from each other as they could. Yes, the matches would be great because they have great chemistry, but it's just been done, man. And Ring of Honor did it so much better. There's just no point for the WWE to do it. I just don't get this one. But anyways, as far as this match here goes, I'm predicting Owens to win. I'm thinking from the WWE's perspective. Zayn is too small, and they like Owens, good heel, shit like that. But yeah, I'm betting that Owens is going to win here. Next match, which is probably going on exactly where I have it here on the card, which would be the Death Spot, which is the match right before the main event. And that would be the Women's Championship match between Natalya, the challenger, accompanied by her uncle Bret Hart, going against current champion Charlotte, who will of course be accompanied by her father, Ric Flair. Charlotte's winning. That's all there is to it. Company does not respect Natalya enough to give her this title. Even with Bret there keeping Flair off of her back, Charlotte will pull one out of the hat, and she'll probably cheat all by herself. She doesn't need Ric Flair to cheat. She can cheat all by herself. She'll pull the tights, or rake the eyes, or pull the fucking hair, or some shit like that, and she'll get a win. Not to mention, once again, Charlotte just won the title at WrestleMania, even though she was already Divas Champion. But she just got the title at WrestleMania. I don't think they're going to have her title end after one short month. Her title reign end after one short month. So yeah, once again, that's my prediction for that match. And speaking of reigns, last match on the card, the main event, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, the phenomenal AJ Styles challenging against current champion Roman Reigns. I really don't see Reigns losing the title. He may not win the match, but I really don't think he's losing the title. AJ might win by disqualification. He might win by countout. There's probably going to be interference of some kind, either from the Usos, Gallows and Anderson, or this third entity could come into play. And this is actually something I was just looking at on NoDQ.com. One of their little articles they're reporting, Finn Balor is going to be backstage at Payback. And it's very high probability he's going to make his debut on the pay-per-view. And their article actually says it could very well be in the match between Reigns and AJ Styles. So, that's an interesting possibility. Really don't know exactly, I don't know. But, yeah, I really don't see Reigns losing the title here. AJ might win the match just to continue the feud, but Reigns is keeping the title. Again, Reigns just won the fucking belt at WrestleMania. So, and Reigns is, of course, the chosen one. They're not letting him lose the title just yet. I really don't know how this one's going to turn out, but I really don't see Reigns losing the title. That's it, really. And the only other things I have here in my notes, aside from the debut of Finn Balor, which is the second thing I have, the WWE has announced nothing else regarding the Divas, or the women, whatever you want to call them now. They love doing big multi-women tag team matches. They did one at WrestleMania, and with the match card as it is, they've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches. And the pay-per-view is supposed to be about 3 hours, so probably closer to like 2.5, 2 3/4. They're probably going to need some other match, a unannounced match, either a big clusterfuck of a Divas big old tag team brawl, or they could have, then again, they could also do something with the idiotic social outcasts. You know, somebody will come out to do a promo, and then the outcasts will come out, challenge them to a match, and we'll have an impromptu match. Who knows? But I'm betting they're probably going to want to do something else with the Divas, because just Charlotte and Natalya are on the card tonight for this one. So they're probably going to want to use some of them, some of the rest of them. Paige, Emma. Don't know if Lana's going to be wrestling much. I don't know. Whatever. Also, as I mentioned in the SmackDown video, it looks like the League of Nations has come to an end. During the SmackDown spoilers, let's see, there was a tag team match with the 3 members of the League of Nations, and 2 of them walked out on, I think it was Rusev and Del Rio walked out on Sheamus. So, whatever. They might do something with those 3. Like, that would be interesting. Have a little triple threat between the 3 former members of the League of Nations. And we still haven't seen hide nor hair of Wade Barrett since he was ejected from the League of Nations. So there could be something there as well. Although, what's really there for him to do anyways? He was kicked out, and now the group disbands anyways. Also pointless to have it be that short after they kick his ass the fuck out of the League of Nations. Really pointless. But whatever, group sucked anyways. Their music was atrocious. And everybody hated them. So, whatever. Anyways, really that's all I have for my pay-per-view predictions for Payback. I'll just go over them once again, just real quick summation. In the kickoff, I've got, as my predictions, I've got Kalisto successfully retaining the United States title against Ryback. I have Enzo and Big Cass defeating the Vaudevillains to win the Tag Team Title #1 Contendership Tournament. I have Baron Corbin sadly going over Dolph Ziggler. Chris Jericho going over Dean Ambrose. The Miz successfully retaining his Intercontinental title over Cesaro. Kevin Owens defeating Sami Zayn. Charlotte successfully retaining her women's title over Natalya. And Roman Reigns retaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship over AJ Styles. And we might get more shit with the Divas, and we might also see the debut of Finn Balor on the main roster. So, there's how that goes, if my stupid notes will actually show. See if I can get a nice good shot of that so you can see I ain't fucking around. All of my predictions are underlined, as you can see. Let's get a good long look at that. Just so you know I'm not bullshitting. I got this written down, and I really have it just like that. I'm going to hang on to this piece of paper, and I'm going to keep it with my notes when I write down my notes for the pay-per-view. And I will compare, and we'll see how well I predicted this bullshit. And on a side note, I know that not much has changed since Shane took over Raw. We know he's not really running Raw. We know that Vince and Triple H and Stephanie are still running this shit show from backstage. We know that. And we know that Shane hasn't really changed much. I'm just happy that I don't have to look at Triple H or Stephanie or Vince that much anymore. And the less I have to, the better. If we do get the brand extension at the pay-per-view, if Vince says, you know what, Shane, you get to keep control of Raw. And Stephanie, I'm giving you control over SmackDown. We're going to have a brand extension. If that's what happens, I'm fine with it. I never watch SmackDown anyways. And even if my favorite wrestlers all get drafted to SmackDown, I still won't watch it. Because I am not going to subject myself to putting up with Stephanie. And also because I work that day and I'm not going to be home to watch it. So anyways, as I said, there was my predictions for the Payback pay-per-view, May 1st, May Day, 2016, Chicago, Illinois, Allstate Arena. Those are my predictions. Thank you for watching. Join us later on tonight after the pay-per-view, and I will go over the pay-per-view itself to see what actually happened. And we'll see how many of these I got right and how many I got wrong. You know the WWE, folks. They don't half-ass anything. They fuck stuff up all the way. Join us later tonight for the pay-per-view. See you then. Good night.